Hey, welcome to Tim's Workshop. Hey, we're back on the Merc Mark 10. I put it in the barrel. It's, been since last fall since I started this thing. And I was going to take it out on the lake for a test run because the last time I started it back in fall, it was running good. And so I put it in the barrel to test it. It's only firing on one cylinder. Spark on one cylinder, then the other cylinder started sparking, then it quit sparking again. And I went, oh, man, I got to check this thing out. I might have a bad coil. So I went and got myself the right analog meter for testing coils and spark plug wire, because the spark plug wires have a thin wire, right? And the resistance is really pretty low on these. So in order to test it, you got to have the right meter to do it with. We got it set up on 1,000 ohms, okay? And that'll read these things pretty good. So let me get the camera in here a little closer and I'll show you how to test these things to see if they're any good or not. We got the voltmeter here. Let's see if I can put it somewhere where you can read it here. Alright. Really no place to put this thing. I'll just have to try to hold it up here when I do this. So what I did is I disconnected the wires in here to the points. The wire that's going to the coil. Okay. The primary is sitting here ready to test, and the same thing on the other side. I'm not going to be testing the condenser yet. We're just mainly interested in to see if we have a reading. So the tracer spark plug wires, this one goes to, let's see. Now I got myself more room here to work. Okay, so this wire is the top one, which goes up here and it goes to this side over here. So this plug here that I put the new boot on, or actually this is the original boot. This is the one that I fixed last year and put a new boot on, but as I found out, it wasn't the boot that was a problem. So, get the wires here. And so the top boot here goes over to this coil. So we're going to test the primary first. And when you test the primary on this needle here, it's going to go over to 0. It'll zero out over on the other side here, which means 0 ohms. Okay, and that's what you want for your primary. There we go. See that? Okay. And before you start, you want to make sure that you're zeroed out over here on your reading, and you can adjust it right here, or actually here. This is how you adjust it on this this knob here. This knob over here sets the 0 for your other readings, but for ohms, you want to set it for 0 over here by twisting this knob and get it set on 0. It's not really that critical for this. You just want to see if your primary is zeroed out. Okay, now you want to test your secondary winding, which goes to your plug boot. Okay, so we're going to put this in there and touch the spring that's inside there, and then we'll go over here and touch the ground again. And we got about 7 ohms. I don't know if you could see the 5 and the 10 there, but it's in between, and which means we're at 7 ohms. So this coil's good. Okay. Now we're going to test the other one on the other side. Okay. And we'll check the primary's good. Zeroing out, 0 ohms. Okay. Now we're going to check out the other boot, which I took off because this was the one that I had the problem with. So I was checking to see if we had a reading or not. And now we got 7 ohms on that one too. So now it's good. Before, when I first checked this, it wasn't good. So what I did is I cut some of the insulation off here so I could get some wire sticking out so I could clean it off and check it. And I was not getting a reading. Okay. So then I went up here. Let me pull the camera back a little bit. Okay. So what I did is I pulled this wire out of the coil. See that? It comes out. There's a little rubber boot that goes over here that makes it, you know, tighter so this doesn't fall out so easy. And it had dielectric around the wire here, but it also had a lot of dirt on it. So what I did is I cleaned it off, and then I just put it back inside here and just push it in all the way. And then I tested it again. Kind of hard to hold these probes on there. There we go. And there we go. 7 ohms. Between 6 and 7. And that's good. So, what I'm going to do is the little rubber boot that goes on there, I'll show you what I do with it. There it is. There it is. Little rubber boot. Goes over the top of this. Get that slid down. Okay. And then put this up through the hole carefully. You want to try to keep the wires together there. Okay. And then, trying to get this rubber boot. There we go. Just like that. Make sure the wire's good. Push this inside here. That clamp down there. Okay, let's test it again to make sure it's good. Then I'll put the screw in this clamp here. It's good. Hopefully you can see that. And there we go. Looks like it's right at 7. Cool. So anyway, this is fixed. I got to put the screw back in, reconnect these connectors back up, put the flywheel back on. I think I did a video on this before, but I'll show you. Here's the flywheel. Okay. Once you get the wires hooked up, there's a felt that goes down over the top, and then the cover plate over the top, 4 screws. Keeps dirt from getting in there. And then this goes over the top, and it has a key, right? The key's in there already. You get that down on top, and then you put the nut on, tighten down the nut. There is a torque, I believe, for this nut. I haven't found it yet. What I do is I just tighten it up. And what I do is I use a big screwdriver. Wedge it in this side or this side, depending on which side you're and just hold it in one of these holes, right? And you can loosen or tighten this thing up by doing that with a 1/2-inch breaker bar with a 15/16 socket. Works good. So I got to put the boot back on here. The boot, when you put it on, you poke this wire right into the this is sharp, right? Get it right into the center of this this wire, and then push it down into that, through that rubber, into the it makes contact with that wire, and then swing this back up so it's at the top of your wire, and put some grease on it, and then slide your boot over the top of that until you see the spring on the inside, like this one here. I don't know if you can see that. What do I do with my flashlight? There it is. See that? That's how you do it. All right. So that's it for the Merc Mark 10 coil test. We fixed it by just cleaning the wire. The coil wire that goes to the plug, spark plug. So I don't have to buy a new coil yet anyway, but that's how you test the coils to see if they're good or bad. And then, you know, if the coil's good, you could check out the wire, see if you got a bad spark plug wire. All right, cheap fix. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave comments, give me a like if you like it. Let your friends and family know about my videos, right? Thanks.